Hello everybody, my name is Davis and welcome back to another another live stream actually. We're here looking at live coverage of severe weather across the United States. Right now, we've got our dying line of supercells here that is currently sweeping through portions of West Virginia and southeastern Ohio. If you're not aware, this moved through pretty much all of Indiana and Ohio today and produced widespread wind damage, widespread large hail, alright, and even a strong tornado up there in northeastern Ohio. This was near the Southington area, Windham, that whole area. Alright, this was a PDS tornado, that being a particularly dangerous situation tornado, and if we turn on the county outages here, you can see that it really didn't cause too many power outages in that area, which is good news. Alright, maybe the tornado is not quite as strong as we thought. We still do have a ton of outages. This one here in Crawford County, Ohio is pretty significant because, we also have some damaging wind reports along with it right there, right? We've got almost 3,000 customers without power in that county alone, alright? And if we turn on the state outages here, we can actually see that the state of Ohio right now has about 9,000 people without power, and Pennsylvania actually has about 43,000 people without power. West Virginia's sitting at about 14,000. Indiana's gotten almost all of their customers restored at this point. They're at about 270, and Michigan is still at 12.5 thousand. So in total, I mean, we've got like 75,000 people without power right now in the Ohio Valley because of this massive severe storm line that moved through here. And you may notice that I have this pulled up on the left-hand side of your screen, right? What is this? Okay, this is the newest mesoscale discussion. There is a 40% chance of either a severe thunderstorm or tornado watch being issued in this area between now and 11 p.m. Central, alright? So that is going to include areas like Kansas City, Topeka, alright? Isolated severe storm development is possible later this evening. Large hail and locally damaging wind gusts will be the primary hazards, alright? We already do have storms firing off here in Kansas, Nebraska, right? And these are only going to grow and more here as they enter the Topeka and Kansas City area. And luckily, we do actually have a live cam here in Burlington, Kansas, one of the areas that is under the gun for severe weather today. And then we also have a live cam off here to the north of Kansas City, all right? So we've explained what that is, so we're going to go on full screen on Radar Omega here, alright? We do have, again, some severe thunderstorm warnings and a little bit of a tornado watch still in effect for portions of Ohio and West Virginia there. This is kind of the final punch that this little line is going to do here, alright? It's going to produce a few more instances of large hail damaging winds throughout portions of northern West Virginia, and then it's going to die out very quickly, alright? So we're seeing possibly the last severe thunderstorm warnings that we're going to see in this event, which is pretty significant because, I mean, this was a massive severe weather outbreak out here, guys. And again, we did have at least one strong tornado that went through the Windham, Ohio area. We are still waiting on reports from that area, alright? Obviously, there's not great service out there after a tornado, so we really don't know what's going on in that area very well just yet. We haven't received any major damage reports, but the NWS will hopefully go out there tomorrow, first thing, and, survey the damage. So we do also have another mode of storms down here in Texas. We kind of talked about this last stream. These little supercells are just, packing a punch here to portions of central Texas. Some areas are getting hit over and over again, which is leading to some heavy rainfall in a couple of spots. We do have a couple of areas that do have that potential there to get over 2.5 inches of rainfall in central Texas. That's going to be an isolated thing. It's not like widespread 2.5 inches. But even all the way down here into southwest Texas, we do have that threat for a few isolated strong to severe storms popping off, right? So we did actually just get a new special weather statement here in north central and northeastern Kansas. This is going to be for the Belleville area. This is for a strong thunderstorm that is producing damaging wind gusts up to 40 miles per hour and large hail up to 1/2 inch in diameter. So look out for that storm. Make sure that you are going and getting indoors. This just crossed over the it's about to cross over the intersection of highways 81 and 36. Those are both major highways there that connect, and that's where Belleville is. Belleville is getting hit by this right now, alright? So look out in Belleville. We've also got this storm here closer to the Highway 36, 181. intersection here. All right, this one's going to be in the Lebanon area, and this is also packing a punch with some hail, maybe a little bit of wind. Let's see specifically what it's warned for. It looks like it is warned for 50-mile-per-hour winds and half-inch hail, so close to severe limits in terms of the wind gusts on that one. You will notice we also have this little supercell over here closer to the Stockton area. It possibly produced some small hail, but it's not warned anymore. It is starting to fizzle out here. But those are the cells that we have right now, right? And then we've also got this one up here in Lexington, Nebraska, that area there, all right? We've got wind gusts up to 50 miles per hour and half-inch hail associated with that. So we got that area of storms. We got our Texas area. We got the Ohio Valley here. We've got a few more areas to watch tonight, all right, for the next little bit here. This is not going to be a long stream, but there's kind of just enough going on around the country to warrant a live stream from me right now. The main event is definitely still the Ohio Valley MCS here as it dies out. A couple of these storms may be rotating just a little bit, but we're not going to have a tornado threat for this area of storms, at least here for the rest of the night, most likely. I will say, these storms did produce some flooding rainfall in several locations. We have 3 flash flood warnings right now, or sorry, 4 flash flood warnings, but one of them is outside of America. So, Perry County, Ohio, Vinton County, Ohio, and Athens County, Ohio, you are under a flash flood warning. The city of Athens is under a flash flood warning. The emergency alert would have went off on your cellular device, hopefully. And, yeah, make sure that you are staying alive. And they say stay alive, don't drive in a flash flooding scenario. So make sure that you are, following that rule. We do have tons of damaging wind and large hail reports from today's event up here, right? We have currently 71 reports of wind gusts of 60 miles per hour or higher, and then we also have about 33 reports here of hail of 1 inch or larger, okay? So most of the significant wind gusts are kind of hovering from the 60 to 70 mile per hour range. There is quite a bit of damage in portions of West Pennsylvania because we did have wind gusts estimated by radar to be about 80 miles per hour at times, actually, which was very significant. That was in the Pittsburgh area off to the north of Pittsburgh. I was not live for that. That was just after the massive Ohio tornado, and I was like, all right, I need a break for a little bit. So a break I took, but we did get some pretty destructive wind gusts over there. We did get some more 80 mile per hour wind gusts estimated by radar that we got on live. That was the second live stream I did today, I believe, where we were talking about that, or the first one. I don't remember. One of the two. I think it was the second one, but anyway, we did have several instances of very high wind gusts, and that is going to be the big problem for tomorrow, all right? If you're in the Midwest or the South Central United States tomorrow, you're going to be facing a little bit of a severe weather threat. In fact, it's not a little severe weather threat. It's even higher than the threat that we had today. We had a slight risk of severe weather today for reference, and tomorrow we're going to have an enhanced risk here centered around portions of far northeastern Arkansas, southeastern Missouri, southern Illinois, southwest Indiana, west Kentucky, and northwestern Tennessee here. You are under the gun. That is a 3 out of 5 severe weather risk for you. Outside of that is your yellow area. That's your slate risk. That's going to include some pretty big cities out here, all right? We got Indianapolis, Indiana, Springfield, Illinois, Louisville, Kentucky, Nashville, Tennessee, Little Rock, Arkansas, Memphis, Tennessee, Dallas, Texas, Tyler, Texas. So we got some big cities in that slight risk as well. The only major city that we do have that in that enhanced risk of severe weather is St. Louis, but some smaller ones are Clarksville, Tennessee, Hopkinsville, Kentucky, Evansville, Indiana, and Cape Girardeau there in Missouri, I do believe. So yeah. We do have an enhanced risk of severe weather tomorrow, driven by wind. All right, we do have a very high wind threat for tomorrow. If you're in that red area, you have a 30% chance to see wind gusts of 60 miles per hour or higher within 25 miles of any given point. So we're definitely going to see some damaging to maybe even destructive wind gusts tomorrow in this area here. I wouldn't even rule out a hatched risk for winds coming in. If that did come in, I personally think that it would be somewhere in this area here, kind of for a sector of far southeastern Missouri and maybe some of southwestern Illinois there. All right, there is going to be a line of storms that does form, maybe even taking a little bit of a bow echo shape as it sweeps through the St. Louis area. We talked about St. Louis earlier today. We had a viewer that had an aunt there in St. Louis, I do believe, and we broke down the forecast for St. Louis tomorrow, and it looks pretty ugly. We did just get a 52 mile per hour wind gust report from Lexington, Nebraska, by the way. New special weather statement has been issued for Kearney, Nebraska. This is for 50 to 55 mile per hour wind gusts and half-inch hail. This is very close to a severe thunderstorm warning. I would not be surprised if this intensifies even more and one does get issued. So be ready for this. This is, again, going to sweep through Kearney, Nebraska, Elm Creek, Nebraska, all the way up towards Ravenna, Nebraska. So look out for that there. But back to the forecast for tomorrow, right? Even the Brown area, that's a marginal risk of severe weather. That's a marginal risk of damaging winds. If we bring up the day 2 outlook, the marginal risk is even larger. The marginal risk there in the dark green shaded color goes all the way from Mexico back into portions of the Midwest here. So it's a very large, widespread event that we're going to be talking about tomorrow. The slight risk even goes all the way from Texas back into the Midwest. And, the enhanced risk is decently sized. It's not over a huge area, but there are quite a few larger population centers in here, kind of along the mid-Mississippi River Valley here. If we take a look at the amount of people in this, we can actually do that here with the Radar Omega app. We do have 4.6 million people under enhanced risk of severe weather tomorrow. You can kind of see some of those bigger cities included in that. We got St. Louis, Missouri, Evansville, Indiana, Clarksville, Tennessee, St. Charles, Missouri, and Florissant, Missouri. So we already covered most of those, but those are just some more cities right there that are going to be included in that enhanced risk tomorrow. Again, it's not going to be anything crazy, but I am going to be live covering this severe weather at least once or twice. Just to, in case there's any, tornado warnings, destructive severe thunderstorm warnings, I will be there. So, that is the forecast for tomorrow. So I think what we need to do now is kind of continue, this ongoing coverage of the storms that we have right now, right? These out here in West Virginia, as they're dying out, they're producing some locally large to very large hail in a couple of spots. We've got quite a bit of a hail core on a few of these storms here. We do have 2 of these severe thunderstorm warnings that expire in 3 minutes. Now, I think this one will probably get reissued. This storm's still pretty intense. I don't know about this one out here towards Weston. I think it's kind of dying out. So we may be down to 2 severe thunderstorm warnings here pretty darn soon. We did just get an extension of this special weather statement here. This now includes areas like Mankato, Kansas, and Jewell, Kansas. That is for the threat of 50 mile per hour wind gusts and penny-sized hail there. So look out for that. But yeah. There's a live look at Burlington, Kansas. Looks like we do actually have some rain possibly falling there. We might have rain. It's hard to tell. If it is rain, it's some very, localized sprinkle activity. Not anything crazy yet. It's kind of hard to tell at nighttime whether those are just like bugs or if that's actually rain. Oh, those just look like bugs, actually. Okay. Alright. So, anyway, back to the forecast. Or not the forecast, the nowcast. The storms that are ongoing. If anybody has any questions about their location over the severe weather for the next couple of days, go ahead and leave that down below in chat, because over the next 3 days, we are looking at so many different areas getting severe weather. Alright, pretty much the entirety. Here, I'm going to go ahead and draw something. If you were east of this line, between now and the next 72 hours, there's most likely a severe threat for your area. Now, I guess you could kind of cut the northeast out of that. This is becoming a very awkward circle, isn't it? Anyway, this area in here, this little area that I'm scribbling in now, you're likely going to have a severe threat sometime between now and the next 72 hours. We're talking about so many different areas. Today, we've got so many different areas. Tomorrow, we're talking about a very large area. And then even on Friday, we've got a pretty large marginal risk of severe weather that I'm almost certain a slight risk will get put into there somewhere. And if I had to guess, I would say that it would be somewhere in North Carolina. So, anyway, that's, we're talking about some widespread severe weather over the next few days, basically. So, let's go ahead and get back into our storms here in the plains. These are probably going to be some of the more intense ones of the stream. We do have these ones over here in West Virginia that are a severe one, but actually 2 of those did just expire. They did not reissue this one, surprisingly, even though it has some pretty large hail on it. You know what? It looks like it's kind of actually moving into this new warning box, so they don't need to issue a new one. There's already a warning box there, which is kind of interesting. But yeah, I do actually think a couple of these storms out here in Kansas and Nebraska might even be a little bit stronger than this severe warned one. The severe warned one is not quite as impressive anymore. It's still doing some small hail, maybe some isolated damaging winds. But, I mean, there are definitely a few cells out here in Kansas that are capable of doing the same. And again, we do have a confirmed 52 mile per hour gust from Lexington, Nebraska. And that was just 20 minutes ago. And this is the same line that did that, and it's actually intensifying even further. So, areas like Ravenna, you gotta watch out for this. This is definitely a damaging wind maker. It's also gonna sweep through Pleasanton. But yeah, there are definitely damaging winds associated with this little storm here of 50 to 60 miles per hour, potentially. It's warned for 50 to 55 miles per hour, but I would not be surprised if we did get an isolated gust up to 60 miles per hour, which is a severe limit gust. But anyway, again, we do not have any severe warnings for this cluster yet. The only severe warnings we have, I want to reemphasize, in fact, we only have one now, is centered in West Virginia here, right? This is a severe warning that is currently in effect for Calhoun, Gilmer, Wirt, Ritchie, and Braxton counties, West Virginia. So, look out there. But, yeah. Everywhere else, we do not have any official, confirmed severe storms ongoing yet. Technically, this one's not even confirmed. It's a radar-indicated threat, but it's very likely that it is severe. And we kind of have this one, again, it's kind of taking this storm's place here in the warning box. So, Burning Springs, Grantsville, you guys just got hit. You're going to get hit again. Get ready. And we did just get a new severe thunderstorm warning that is going to be an extension here. This storm is still warned for 1-inch hail and 60 mile per hour winds. Again, the reason that this is not warranting a new warning is because it's heading right into where the warning box was. The warning box has the exact same details as what this should probably be warned for, so they don't really need to issue a new warning. But yeah, we do have 2 severe thunderstorm warnings now in West Virginia. The tornado threat for the plains storms here, if it does materialize, it's going to be late tonight somewhere in southeast Kansas and northeast Oklahoma. We do have a marginal risk for tornadoes here. That does include Bartlesville, Oklahoma, El Dorado, Kansas, Wichita, Kansas, Derby, Kansas, Winfield, Kansas, all the way out towards Newton, Kansas. And actually, where our cyclone port is at there, the town of Burlington, or the city of Burlington, rather, is not included in this marginal risk of tornadoes, but the cyclone port actually is. Burlington, you are included in the marginal risk. You're just not in the marginal risk for tornadoes. You're in the marginal risk for wind and hail, I do believe. Yeah. And that's something else to note. We have a hatched risk for hail in this area, guys. We're going to see some large to very large hail tonight, somewhere in Topeka, Manhattan, Junction City, Abilene. Very likely that we do see some large to very large hail, potentially up to lime size in diameter. And, I lost my train of thought. Great. I really don't remember what I was going to say. That sucks. Okay. That's going to bother me for like 30 minutes now. You guys ever have that where you just can't think of what you're going to say and then it just bothers the crap out of you? That's what's happening to me right now. Right, anyway. But yeah, we do have our cyclone ports out there thanks to the Radar Omega app. We can view a live look here at Burlington, Kansas. And we can even get a live look there from the Willowbrook area in Missouri. How nice is that? See a beautiful sunset. I want to say I just saw a lightning strike in the distance on the Burlington cam. We did just get a new severe thunderstorm warning that is out in West Virginia. This storm did get rewarned. It just got rewarned late. There's definitely something flashing on one of these cams over here. I don't know if it's lightning, but there's something flashing every few minutes. Look for a flash there. That warning is actually for half dollar size hail. I just saw it again. Anyway, this warning is for half dollar size hail and 60 mile per hour wind gusts, so look out for that. Get away from windows. That does include Independence, which is a pretty large town out there, as well as Ravenswood, Middleport, Ripley, Reedy, not quite out to Spencer in West Virginia and Ohio, respectively. So, got some pretty populated areas there, some big old population centers. Now, of course, that I'm watching it very closely, it's not flashing anymore like it was. I definitely saw a flash. I'm not crazy. Well, I might be crazy, but that's not why. Yeah, there is something on the Dragon Nation cam. Again, that's not lightning, but there's something flashing. It's distracting me. At first, I thought it was on the Burlington cam, and I was like, okay, that could actually be lightning, because we do have a storm not too far away from there. Actually, no, we don't. That's not capable of producing lightning yet, but anyway, it's close to the thing, and I was like, oh, it's lightning, but no, it might not be, because it's on the other cam, I'm pretty sure. Anyway, again, all the severe warnings that we do have right now are centered around Ohio and West Virginia. If you're in, like, anywhere in this little isolated area here, your severe threat is going to be there for sure here for the rest of the evening. Damaging winds, large hail, tornado threat, very low. Very, very low. A tornado is not likely in this area. I'd give it maybe like a 1% chance. And wow, that is some large hail though, for sure. And these storms are kind of taking each other's places in the warning boxes. Anyway, back out here to our storms in the plains. Again, none of these are severe warned yet. This one up here, closer to Kearney, Nebraska now, might be the first one. It's materializing very quickly here. Definitely doing some sort of gusty winds, if not damaging winds. The hail threat on it is minimal, but you don't have to have a hail threat as long as you have a wind threat to get a severe warning. Well, it's a pretty common misconception. People think that warnings, severe thunderstorm warnings, are only issued if there's 60 mile per hour winds, 58 mile per hour winds, and 1 inch hail. But no, you can have one or the other and still get a severe warning issued. You don't have to have both. But yeah. What is that? What is that that's flashing on the Dragon Nation cam? I really don't know. Again, here's your line of damaging winds here approaching the Amherst area as well as Pleasanton and Ravenna. Then we got another severe storm, or not severe storm, sorry, a strong storm closer to Mankato. Then another one that just went through Belleville. That's on the Kansas side of the Nebraska-Kansas border there. Anyway, Alta Vista, boy, anybody that's in the WX community likely recognizes that name there if they've been in it for a few months now. Alta Vista, Kansas. That was a day. I was live for that. I remember it. I remember it very well. That wasn't even too long ago. That was like almost it was a little over a month ago. But I just like drawing randomly. But yeah, that was a very strong tornado. That was, I think it was rated EF2 officially. At the time, I there was a few seconds where I was like, this could be the worst tornado we've seen in a long time. The radar imagery was just so impressive. And I mean, at the time, it was the worst tornado that we had seen in a while. Other than Clarksville, Tennessee. As soon as I said that, I thought, oh, wait. Because that was technically before the Ohio outbreak. I think that was a day before the big Ohio outbreak. So we hadn't had an EF2 tornado for a while before then. I guess there was an outbreak in February that brought an EF2. Yeah, I don't know. It was a high-end EF2, though. It was just impressive. Anyway, I'm sure that the effects are still definitely there in Alta Vista, because it was like a direct impact, too, if I remember correctly. I almost want to just, like, pull up my old stream right now and look. It's not even that old of a stream. Like, that was not that long ago. I don't know why I'm acting like that was, like, 5 years ago. My friend is texting me question marks. Alright. We still got our large hailmakers out here in West Virginia and far southeastern Ohio. I'm sorry, I was texting my friend back. We are gonna see some significant weather in my area tomorrow, I'm hoping. I'm like the only person that hopes for severe weather in their area. Other than storm chasers, yes, I know. People hope for that for a living. I'm on like the very, very edge of the enhanced risk, but I'm in there. So, I'm happy. And I mean, this marginal risk, I mean, how many people does that include? 23 million. That's a lot of people. I like the contrast in names. You go from Austin, Texas to Cincinnati, Ohio. Yes, the risk is that big. It is that large. What is that flashing on the Dragon Nation game? It's gonna drive me nuts, dude. Okay, anyway. I think this is an appropriate time to end off the stream here. We still have our dying storms in West Virginia, but those are not going to be able to last for much longer. I'd say by, 11 p.m., those are done. At least severe-wise, they're still going to be capable of producing heavy rainfall and maybe some gusty winds and small hail, as well as lightning, but nothing severe. These storms here in central and southern Texas, they're going to pop off for a little longer. They're going to fire off. They've been going for so long now. They've just been cell after cell, man. And our main event here is not started up. We're not done. All right, we're just getting started here in the plains. So, if you're in the Kansas City area, Topeka, anywhere in the dark green or the yellow areas there, make sure that you do have multiple ways to receive severe weather alerts, and you will be good to go as long as you take the proper precautions. So, again, thank you all for watching, and I will see you all tomorrow.